Nic, welcome to Chesterfield FC. You were obviously here last season through the back end with James. Obviously, you're now here permanently until for the end of next season. Tell us about your journey and how you've ended up at Chesterfield FC.
Well, firstly, it's been a really exciting experience to be part of Chesterfield. Around about January time, late December, I got a message from a mutual contact between myself and the gaffer, and they were looking for somebody to take on the role of head of medicine and head of sports science, and they felt that I might be able to fulfill that role. So I had a couple of meetings with James on Zoom, and very quickly I found myself in Chesterfield quarantining for 10 days before I kind of came in and took on the role, which is, to be fair, been quite challenging with COVID and the amount of isolations we've had to do, but getting the players through to the end of the season was the original mandate, and then from there to build them up and make a squad ready to be able to take on the National League in the upcoming season.
So tell us a little bit then. So your obviously job title is head of sport science and medicine. So what sort of does that involve? What does that mean? Because obviously some people listening to this will have absolutely no idea what that means. So just explain sort of your role and what you sort of do on a day-to-day basis.
Basically, my job is to try and keep the players as fit as possible, make them resilient, make them robust, so that they're able to handle the challenges that the gaffer, the physical challenges that the gaffer puts on them, and then with that, you are inevitably going to get injuries associated with playing a contact game, and so the other side of the role is to get those guys returned in a physical condition, ready to take on the challenges of playing for this team.
And obviously a big name that's been out injured for a while is obviously Tom Denton. He's been struggling with his knee. He's back now and he's been playing some games. How's he getting on, and how have you found working with Tom?
Tom Denton's been an absolute professional the whole experience that I've had with him. He came in and he already had the knee issue when I arrived, and since then he's worked like an absolute trooper in the gym. He's got himself in really good physical condition. He's stronger, he's leaner. The knee is looking really good, and as I think people have seen, he's made a couple of appearances in the last couple of games, and I think he's looked pretty good. So if everything's going to plan, Tom should hopefully be able to come out and play a role for the team.
And then Fraser Kerr struggled with his ankle towards last season, obviously missed the back end, but he's back now and he's training, but he looks still like he's struggling a little bit. How is he doing? Where's he sort of on the timeline of progression?
So Fraser had a nasty little injury, very similar but slightly worse to what Harry Maguire had. Based on the reports that I've read in the media, he had to undergo an operation because he ruptured one of those ligaments, and where he is now, he's actually progressing very well. He's stepped into a number of sessions, but sometimes the load is a little bit high, and we've got to protect him from future injury. But we expect him to play a part fairly soon.
And obviously you're actually from South Africa, as you can tell with the accent. How are you finding it over here, and was it a big decision to move over to England and sort of work here permanently, or was it sort of in the back of your mind sort of wanting to go back home to South Africa to your family? How did you feel about coming over to England and working here?
Well, interestingly enough, I've lived in England before, so I grew up in South Africa, but when I finished my undergraduate degree I came over in 2002. And spent 14 years here. That's where I worked at Aldershot. The mutual contact between myself and the gaffer. I had to go back for some personal reasons, but it was always the intention to return to England. And I feel very grateful that my return has brought me to Chesterfield and allowed me to work with such a prominent club, and hopefully I can assist in getting the club back to where it belongs in the higher divisions.
And then finally, obviously you're on the bench during a game. How does it feel almost as staff? Obviously you're not sort of part of the first team playing the football, but as a member of the staff you must celebrate a goal or a tackle just like the rest of the players do, like the gaffer does. It must feel special knowing that you're part of this journey, hopefully back to the Football League.
Absolutely. I mean, working in football for many, many years, I think it's an absolute privilege to be involved in this game. And if you don't wake up every day thinking that this is the best job in the world, I think there's something wrong with you. But it's really exciting. The highs are magnificent, and the lows are devastating, but you always realize that you can come back, and you can there's always something special around the corner, another experience or another moment which you can put in the memory banks and relate to at some point in the future. But it has been an exciting journey.
And I imagine almost for you, when you've got no sort of serious injuries, which normally obviously in a squad of this size you normally have, that when you've got no injuries, that must feel so good for you. It must obviously feel good for the players, the manager and the fans, but for yourself it must feel so good when you've got no one sort of on the treatment table.
Absolutely. I'm the one person in the building that when I'm not busy, it means that I've done a good job. Talking to tongue in cheek, but it is an exciting day when the physio room is empty.